Uncle Sorghum and his family. Yeah, I didn't even know I had an Uncle Sorghum, and they all moved in and they're living there now. Well, that's... How many children did you say? 16. Are you sure there are 16? Well, let me see. There's Vestibula, Twitchy, Narrowhead, Fungus and Grunion, Quagmire, Putrid and Slurp, and then there's the triplets. Triplets, yeah. Them that has gets, yeah. What are the triplets' names? Oh, they're Bert, and Squirt. I see. And then there's there's the oldest sister, you know, Groucho. The sister's name is Groucho. Yeah, they call her that because she has a mustache and smokes cigars. Yeah, that's the way it goes, yeah. Well, that must make things pretty crowded around your house. Oh, they're sleeping all over the darn place. In the kitchen, too. Is that so? Yeah. They don't mind that. No, all except Cousin Twitchy. He ain't used to sleeping in a strange sink. Oh, I ain't. Well, they made themselves at home, didn't they? Oh, they did that. They're even wearing my clothes. Is that so? Yeah, Herkimer, or Jerkimer, I call it. He got up this morning and got right into my best suit. Oh, well, now, that is annoying. Yeah, it certainly is. What's more, he didn't even give me time to get out of it first. Mortimer, these people, they don't sound like very attractive relatives. No. They sure made a mess of the house, too, I imagine. I didn't realize how dirty the house was until a dog came in and tried to bury a bone in the living room. Tried to bury a bone in the living room. Yeah. We got wall-to-wall dirt now. How could they drag so much dirt into the house? No. Well, you know, those little kids, when they go to sleep, you know what they play? They play that game. This little piggy went to market. Well, that's very nice. Yeah, but they do it with real pigs. Well, I know it must annoy you, but remember, Mortimer, blood is thicker than water. Yeah, on that is so, yeah, of course. Then again, what isn't? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's the way it goes, yeah. Well, relatives, of course, can be a problem. Do you know what Hubbard said about relatives? Well, I don't care to listen to anything, that kind of language, you know. Oh, no. No, you've heard the saying. Well, haven't you heard it? I don't know. Well, not yet, no. Well, it was Albert Hubbard. Oh, well, that's pretty good. Well, I haven't said it yet. Oh. The devil gives us our relatives. Thank God we can choose our friends. Now, what do you think of that? Well, how does it go? He just went. Oh. I must have been looking the other way, yeah. Now, Mortimer, how on earth are you going to get rid of that mob at your house? Well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to leave. Why do you say that? Well, I overheard Uncle Sorghum say we'll stay until he gets wise. Oh, I see. Well, I'm beginning to see the light. You are? Yes. Would you mind turning it up a little so I can see it, too? I don't think he's your uncle. No? No. And I don't think they're your relatives at all. I think they're a bunch of imposters. Yeah, I do. You may be right at that. Yes, of course. How can you be so stupid? Well, it comes easy after you reach the first plateau, I imagine.
Hello, Edgar.
Well, it's Carol Richards.
I hope you'll excuse my coming out early, Edgar, but I've been so anxious to meet Mortimer. Oh, he's really cute. Oh, Mortimer, don't tell me you're a shrinking violet.
Well, not exactly, no. I'm more of the stinkweed type.
Oh, come on now, Mortimer. Don't be afraid of me.
No.
I won't bite you.
You wanna?
Mm-mm.
No teeth, huh?
I think you better sing, Carol.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see a pair of laughing eyes, and suddenly you're sighing sighs. You're thinking nothing's wrong. You string along, boy, then snap. Those eyes, they're part of the tender trap. You're hand in hand beneath the trees, and soon there's music in the breeze. You're acting kind of smart until your heart just goes whap. Those trees that breeze, they're part of the tender trap. Some starry night when his kisses make you tingle, he'll hold your hand and you'll hate yourself for being single, and all at once it seems so nice. The trees are throwing shoes and rice. You hurry to a spot that's just a dot on the map. You wonder how it all came about. It's too late now, there's no getting out. You fell in love, and love is a tender trap. Some starry night when his kisses make you tingle, he'll hold your hand and you'll hate yourself for being single, and all at once it seems so nice. The folks are throwing shoes and rice. You hurry to a spot that's just a dot on the map. You wonder how it all came about. It's too late now, there's no getting out. You fell in love, and love is a tender trap.
Now it is time for our Meet the People department. Our guest tonight is one of the foremost ethnologists in the United States, and his name is known the world over as one of the outstanding authorities on the American Indian. He holds the position of director of the Southwest Museum in Los Angeles. Here he is, Dr. Frederick Webb Hodge.
Good evening, Dr. Hodge. Now, this is a real pleasure to have you with us tonight, and I realize it may not exactly be good form to inquire into a person's age. You know, Jack Benny seems to dislike such probing, but I confess that I'm curious about you. Is your age a secret, Doctor?
No, I'm 39.
Oh, no. Not you, too, huh? This is contagious. No, seriously, Dr. Hodge, about how old are you?
Well, Mr. Bergen, to tell the truth, I was 91 the 28th of last month.
Well. 91 years. Well, isn't that wonderful? And how did you celebrate your birthday?
Well, my friends gave me a party and we really had a grand time.
Oh, yes. Dr. Hodge, as the world's foremost authority on American Indian, You've probably devoted a great portion of your life to the study, haven't you?
Well, as a lad in Washington, D.C., I became interested in Indians, and I never have outgrown that lure. It's been most fortunate, for to love one's work is one of the secrets of longevity, I believe.
Yes. Well, now, while we're on the subject of longevity, you certainly should have some ideas on that. What is your thinking about, smoking and liquor?
Well, for years I've smoked a pack and a half a day, and I enjoy an occasional drink. But my friends have always insisted I should indulge only in moderation if I want to live to a ripe old age.
And are your friends as chipper as you?
Oh, most of them have passed on.
They probably didn't take their own advice. Well, so you've given up alcoholic beverages then, haven't you?
Not altogether. I still like a nightcap before retiring.
I hope you're not like Effie Clinker. You don't find yourself retiring 2 or 3 times a night now.
Oh, no. One old-fashioned is quite enough for me.
And undoubtedly you subscribe to getting 10 hours of sleep per night?
I prefer 8 hours sleep, but can get along on 7. And I have thrived on 6. When I was preparing the Handbook of the American Indian, it was not unusual for me to sit up doing research, writing, reading proof until 2 or 3 o'clock every morning. This lasted for 11 years.
Well, you certainly do contradict all the rules I've ever heard laid down for longevity.
Yes. Well, maybe so. But my opinion, there's nothing more important than leading a normal life. If I have a formula, it can probably be summed up as happy work, happy friends, happy family. I'm most fortunate being married to a charming, wonderful woman. I have good friends, and my life's work has been one I love.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you've been interested in Indians since you were a boy. Now, how did you happen to make it your profession?
Well, I became field secretary of the Hemingway expedition in 1886. That was the first organized archaeological expedition into the Southwest.
And on the way, did you happen to pass Jack Benny in a covered wagon?
No, but the expedition was a great success. And after my return to Washington, D.C. in 1889, I joined the Bureau of American Ethnology of the Smithsonian Institution.
Well, now, what about the famous Hawiku expedition that you organized?
Well, under the auspices of the Museum of the American Indian in New York, we made expeditions to excavate the Hawiku ruin in New Mexico, which was identified as one of the so-called 7 cities of Cibola. Mm-hmm. That is, the Zuni Indians of old.
I see. Now, in conducting these excavations, just what do you look for? What is the index of the culture of the people? Is it the things they've left behind, I suppose?
Well, primarily, in most instances, yes. However, the real test of the Indians' culture is not always discernible in the material things they leave. The Iroquois, for instance, left very little, yet they had reached perhaps the highest degree of culture than any other Indian tribes of North America, north of Mexico.
Well, in what way would you say did the Iroquois exceed that of other Indians?
Well, in a great variety of ways, one of which was the freedom enjoyed by their women.
Oh.
They had women's suffrage, and bear in mind that was many, many years before our own women were so privileged.
Now, that is really surprising. Now, did the Iroquois women ever exercise their, what shall we call it, voting rights?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
The men could not even go to war without permission of the women.
That'd be a good way to eliminate war. By the time the women get through talking it over, the crisis would be over. Or they could just send the women. Dr. Hodge, you are now director of the Southwest Museum here in our city, isn't that right?
Not exactly. I have been director of the museum for 23 years, but at the close of January, I took a sabbatical leave.
I see. To sort of rest up a little bit, huh?
Well, of course not. I took the leave in order to devote my full time to research for the Department of Justice Indian Claims Commission. In other words, as my mother used to say, it's like stopping work to haul timber.
In other words, you're busier than ever now.
Oh, yes. We are endeavoring to settle the Apache Indians' suit against the United States government for land said to have been taken from them, thus involving large parts of the Southwest and to run into many millions of dollars.
Sounds like a very important job. Well, Dr. Hodge, I want to thank you for being